was a really weird kid growing up. For one reason or another, I would not say Happy New Year. Instead, I called it Happy Nooner. I was a weird kid. Welcome to the weekend. Nick Karski and Zensky with you here.
Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year to everybody. Happy Nooner. I don't know if I was just stupid or I thought it was funny or what my reasoning behind saying, by not saying Happy New Year was.
Well, if it's any indication from last week's show, you said some weird stuff as a kid, so I would give you a pass on that. But hey, welcome to 2021. 2020 is officially in the rearview mirror. Thank goodness.
We made it.
New year. We made it. That's right. Somewhat unscathed, I guess. But hey, bigger and brighter days ahead, my friend.
You think?
I hope so. I know you said you're the eternal pessimist, but hopefully this turning the page to a new chapter, a new year, allows you to see a little bit on the optimistic side.
I don't know. The Bills are going to be hosting a home playoff game. There's going to be close to 7,000 fans at the Ralph.
Today.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe the optimism is slowly coming back to me. Look, I told everybody at the station here earlier today, I said, look, over the last 4 weeks or so, I have felt so confident in the Bills. Usually we would have some crazy noises happening in the living room and the dogs would be petrified as to what I'm saying and shrieking and everything like that. No. We're not getting any of that stuff right now. I'm just sitting there confidently, calmly watching the Bills, and they're putting on a show every week.
I don't believe that for a second. Since when have you ever watched the Bills game without any emotion?
I don't know, man. It's the wildest thing. Ever since they started racking up more and more wins, I don't know. It's kind of happened that way.
That's wild. But I mean, and you also said last week too that you were feeling very good, very confident about them making it to the Super Bowl and even winning that.
Well, so, I think I said going to the conference championship.
Did you say is that
first.
Okay?
Yeah,
so
I mean that's where I'm feeling.
Yeah,
that's where I'm feeling this team could very well go to a conference championship game and take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone is saying Buffalo is like one of the top 3 teams in the National Football League right now. So, hey, I'm just on cloud 9 with this team.
How would that be a way to start off 2021? Is with a conference title or something like that? Or
it could just be 2020 going back to its old ways and just creeping on into 2021.
You see, there's your pessimism.
It's just the typical Bills way of just losing an early round playoff game.
No, optimism, man, optimism. You see, if they're just because a year changes doesn't mean that they stay in their old ways. It's a new leaf to turn over.
Speaking of,
I'm feeling good about it.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough. Speaking of starting things off,
here's what you missed.
As we always do, taking a look at some of the things you may have missed with our headlines from the week. So there's a couple of different routes we can go with this one. There's a gentleman from Idaho who has a talent for breaking Guinness World Records. He's broken more than 150 Guinness World Records to promote STEM education. His name is David Rush. David Rush and his new Guinness World Record. His latest title is throwing 52 nuts in the air and catching them in a can attached to his head. 52 nuts caught into his head in 1 minute, which breaks the previous record of 38 catches.
Okay, so here's the thing. We talked, because we haven't talked about a Guinness World Record in a while. But I remember on week 2 or week 3 when we were doing this, there was a couple we were talking about, and we said that they're completely arbitrary. It was like the guy with the toothpicks in his beard, right?
Yeah.
And these are just things you make up. So why don't, at this point, just give the guy the record for having the most world records?
Seems like a nut job. You could say he's a nut.
So the jokes are coming into the new year. You're not leaving those in the past.
You know what he said to those world records?
No, I don't. Please, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I'm a cashew.
Come on.
So,
man.
congratulations to David from Idaho.
He doesn't even have like a punny nut name or anything, like Pat Pistachio or nothing like that.
Pat Pistachio? I mean,
I don't know.
It's a hell of a name, though. This one is in, I want to say, my neck of the woods. It's probably about 2.5 hours away. It's like in between Herkimer and Cobleskill. There's a small little village called Ames, New York, that nobody has ever heard of.
That's the southern tier of the capital region.
That's going towards the capital region. It's taking 88 and just being completely lost in the ever so beautiful wilderness that is I-88. But a New York State couple said that they ripped up some rotten wood at their recently purchased home and made a discovery of a bootlegger stash of whiskey from 100 years ago.
Wow.
Nick Drummond and Patrick Baker, or Backer, excuse me. I don't know if it's Backer or Baker. I mean, he could be a backer for a bootlegger. Said they heard while preparing to purchase their home in Ames that it might have belonged to a bootlegger in the 1920s. They said it was a local urban legend, that it was built by a bootlegger. Lo and behold, little tiny place in upstate New York is truly the home of an old bootlegger. The package that they found contains 6 bottles of whiskey.
Wow.
So, we're talking, just kidding. The couple said they counted about 100 total bottles of whiskey.
100 bottles.
So they apparently climbed a hatch and went downstairs and found some hidden storage and this, that, and the other. And they found more than 100 bottles of whiskey.
And did this have a year on it, or did they have like a guess?
The bottle's beer dates from the 1920s.
So is that that's prohibition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go.
A little stasheroo from
That's wild.
From a gentleman from 1920, and probably licked himself up and found himself sleeping on the couch every single night.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine that's safe to drink. I mean, I know like liquor is supposed to age, but like, is a century pushing it?
Yes, I feel like a century is not pushing it per se. The only reason I feel like I would not tempt myself into drinking or indulge in drinking this whiskey is because I'm sure the sealing and the packaging of it was not like airtight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So God only knows what kind of stuff would be lying in there, at least on the cap, or who knows?
Something packaged in the modern era, I'm sure, has many more checks and balances in place as opposed to something that somebody was doing in their comfort of their own home. Next up, keeping with this, I guess, kind of back deep in the woods kind of vibe.
Deep in the woods kind of vibe?
I don't know. I didn't want to like stereotype or put a label on these.
You didn't want to piss somebody off.
Exactly. But a Kentucky man used a flamethrower to clear snow from his driveway.
I saw that.
I mean, like, just ingenious, if you ask me. And like, if just reading the headline is enough, here's a visual for you. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll throw the video up. But in case you're listening, he is outside in what looks to be 6 to 12 inches of snow on the ground, in a white robe, slippers,
that's right.
And then one of these like lumberjack like snow hats, right?
Like one of those hats that you see from the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Exactly. Yep. Drinking a beer. Starts up the flamethrower and there goes the snow.
Was he actually drinking a beer?
Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah. Had an open can. This guy is living the dream. It says Timothy Browning posted a video to Facebook showing him dressed as Cousin Eddie from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. There you go. While drinking beer and using a flamethrower to clear snow from his driveway. Browning Snow Services, God bless America. Browning wrote in the Facebook post.
Wow.
I feel like
that's good. That's good.
That is ingenious. Like, you could only get away with that, like, if there's like not a cop driving by or something.
No, you can get away with it anytime.
You think so?
Just like those people who are like, I mean, I don't know. You are using a flamethrower. I was going to say.
Are those legal?
How the hell should I know? Like, I have a flamethrower lying around that I could, tell you if it's legal to have or not. How am I supposed to know?
I'm Googling it as we speak.
You're Googling legal.
This. I'm curious.
Oh my gosh.
This is from UC Berkeley. That's right. Real flamethrowers are legal in California, assuming an aspiring owner is willing to jump through a regulatory hoop. I'm not going to read all this, but it looks to be like it depends on the state.
So bizarre, man.
I don't know.
That's so bizarre. That's
but hey, I mean, I give him credit for being intuitive and progressive and ingenious.
I think the man is an absolute genius, and I think it's the way to go. And I think the fact that he was doing it with some booze in his hand was an even better idea by this guy.
Acknowledging pop culture a little bit.
Oh yeah. We've got a really fun show lined up today because we're gonna have a special guest join us in just a little while because we're gonna do some 2020 trivia, and my old producer. Cam Denmark's going to join us, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with that in just a little while. So that's going to be a fun time. You don't want to miss that. But 2020 has come and gone, and knock on wood, fingers crossed, say a prayer, do a dance, whatever you do to get rid of the bad mojo and bring in the good mojo, do it for 2021 because 2020, albeit a few really good things that happened, at least for me personally, 2020 was, like everyone else probably thinks, a giant dumpster fire and a big old mess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's really no other way to say it is that, I mean, you can find little things to see the silver lining, but for the most part, too much crap, too much pain, too much suffering, too much this and that to really make it a good year, I would say. I think many people are now happy that even though, like, nothing inside you or how you feel about things changes from December 31st to January 1st. Yeah. I think in typical years, but I think for 2020 to 2020 into 21, the thing that you feel is just this stress of the label of 2020 being lifted off of you, right? And I think at least that's how it is for me. I don't know how it is for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens as the days kind of progress here over the next couple of days. But one of my good buddies, a great friend of mine, and you hear him on ESPN Ithaca once in a while with us. His name is Joe Gladishevsky. We call him Gladdy for short. And he said earlier this week on my show, which is BTL, you can hear it weekdays 5 to 6 on ESPN Ithaca. Sorry to plug. But he basically he brought up a New Year's resolution that was along the lines of enjoy the little things and embrace all that life has to offer, essentially. Because this past year, but in 2020, we weren't able to go to a baseball game on a random Friday night. We weren't able to go see Cornell hockey play on a Friday night inside Liner Rink. We've obviously have held different sort of social distancing events with family and stuff where it just doesn't feel the same. It just doesn't feel normal, things like that. So it was basically him saying, embrace the little things that we have, because when it's taken away from you, it kind of stings. And eventually, unfortunately, it takes something like this to really make you realize just how lucky some of us are in what we do and in what we get to see and accomplish and witness. And, it's the way he said it was just so perfectly. I mean, I'm not even doing it justice right now, but it's a long-winded way of saying embrace the little things and embrace almost everything that your life has to offer.
You're absolutely right. I was just telling, I forget who it was the other day, probably Jenna, and I said it's gonna be really nice just to go sit at a bar or at a restaurant again, without having to worry about getting sick. Obviously that there's always gonna be the common colds out there that people just will catch from being out in the world, but nothing to this seriousness and this extent, right? So I think it's just going to be the again, talking about like having a weight lifted off your shoulders. It's like, okay, I could go through the grocery store or sit at a bar and not have to worry about my safety and well-being. Like, I think, I'm not, trying to downplay it. Like, there's still going to be people eager to, maybe still wear a mask. Like, that's totally fine if that's going to make you comfortable, or maybe it's going to just encourage people to be more hygienic and just, wash their hands more often and to, I don't know, cover their mouth when they sneeze. Stuff we should have been doing already, but hopefully this makes people more conscious of that. And, but I completely agree. Just the fact of sitting down and not having to worry about, like, am I going to get this pandemic virus it's going to be nice and allow you to understand that this is good. Like, I'm happy that we're back to quote unquote normal.
The pessimist in me comes back though. Like, are we going to see all of this be able to happen in 2021, or is this something that's going to go into the following year in 2022? No. I don't know. I think it's going to take some time.
It's going to take some time. I think, well, it depends on what you think, like what we're going back to. Like, are we going back to like everything's fine and like everything's open up again? Like, I don't think we're going to see that until the late spring or early summer, just like the way the vaccinations are going here in the US. But like, I'll just say, for example, like, Dr. Fauci, I watched a CNN interview with him the other day, and he said that he's looking for, for us to reach herd immunity, not by people actually getting the virus, but by people being vaccinated. That's like a 70 to 85% percentile. And he's looking for that to be achieved sometime between late spring and early summer, when most of the general public in the country, you and I, for example, will be able to get a vaccine. So I would say once we're maybe around 4th of July and into July and August, that hopefully we really start to see these glimmers of like, okay, this is kind of what I remember of enjoying life, before
thinking.
This all happened.
Yeah. Hopefully knock on wood, cross your fingers, say a prayer, whatever it is that you do and you feel is best to let all this stuff happen, because in an ideal world, that is going to be the case. It was a really interesting year for music this year, wasn't it?
Yeah. We talked about how, like, especially me not having as many like live gigs, it was a little difficult to understand what records were working. But we also this was the year of TikTok, and I know you hate it, but like, it's the new thing to understand what tracks are trending and whatnot. So that's that was a good thing that came out of it. I would say it's a new music chart for DJs.
I think this is the perfect time then for us to bring back one of our favorite games. And it's called Know Youre Beats. That's right. It's where we test Zensky and his knowledge of music beats per minute, because for some reason he has this uncanny talent of being able to get at least fairly close to what beats per minute of songs, popular songs, sometimes completely irrelevant songs. I don't know how he does it. It's the most peculiar thing. It's something that just makes my jaw drop every single time. Not just the fact that he's maybe a couple of beats per minute off, which I think is impressive enough, but sometimes he's dead on with the beats per minute, and it's terribly frightening.
Well, let's hope I can live up to the expectation here, because you set the bar pretty high.
Well, I did do that, and I also looked at Billboard's year-end Hot 100 songs.
Okay.
So these are mostly songs that I have heard of. I will say that. So
you have I've heard of them too.
Which means you probably have the advantage there, because if I know some of these songs, then you absolutely know some of these songs.
I would like to think so, yes.
So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 songs here that we're going to go through, and you're going to tell me the beats per minute. And I'm going to be so kind. I'm going to let you correctly guess within 3 beats per minute of these songs, just in case, even though there's a possibility you're going to get some of them right on the dot. So, number 1. The number 1 song on Billboard's year-end Hot 100 songs. It is Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. No surprise. How many beats per minute is that song?
86.
Well, I think they're going double time on you here, and they're going to say 171 from what I read. So do the math. 86 is, I don't know.
172.
86. Is that what it is?
because 80 times 2 would be 160.
172. Son of a... Yeah, you're right. Oh, my God. Right. It's 171 is what they went with. The number 5 song on Billboard's year-end 100 songs. Rockstar, which is
91.
Baby... What?
Wait, 90. 90.
Oh my God, it's right on the dot at 90. What is wrong with you, man?
So I'll give a little plug too. I'm working on a year-end mix, which is already out by the time you're listening to this, but it's going to be a 1-minute countdown into. If you start at 11:59 on New Year's Eve, it'll count you into the New Year. But you could listen to it after that. But that song is in there, so I kind of knew that one already.
Okay. The 17th song, number 17 song, according to Billboard, it's Intentions by Justin Bieber.
71.
71 times 2, 142, which is off of 148.
Oh, so a little, okay.
You're pretty damn close, though. I thought I was doing, like, myself a favor by saying, hey, let's go 3. But the fact that you're even that close is very impressive. The
so
20...
what, that would be 74 then, right?
Wait.
Yeah, 74 times 2, 148. Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
The number 24 song, WAP, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, what is 66?
66. You're doing this in half the time. This is double time. It's at 133.
So because the program that I use, it doesn't list it double time. It lists like just on the 4.
Well, this is the first time we've had this information happen, and we're just completely irrelevantly just going off double time and having to do math live on our podcast. And
wait, so what does it say? Does it say 132?
133.
So 66.5.
And you said what?
66.
I'll give it to you. Whatever.
Within a half a beat.
All right. Think double time.
Okay.
For the number 48 song on Billboard's year-end Hot 100 songs. Beats per minute for Rain on Me by Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande.
Well, it doesn't need to be double time, but it's 122.
Oh my God, it's 123.
See, double time is really like anything below, like, I guess 90. Because you're never going to see things listed like 180 beats per minute or 185 beats per minute.
All right. The number 67 song. I can't believe this is number 67.
Okay.
Billboard's year-end Hot 100 songs. Beats per minute, 67. Well, that's not the answer. It's not 67, but the number 67 song. All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey.
That's 71, isn't it? 71, 72? Or am I way off?
What's your guess?
71.
71? We're going to go 71 times 2, which is 142. And the answer is 150.
Okay. So I was off by 4 because 150 would be 75.
God forbid. Final one.
Okay.
71st song on Billboard's year-end Hot 100 songs. It's Panini by Lil Nas X.
77.
77?
So 154? 154?
That's right.
Did I get it?
That was right on the dot. That's right on the dot. You're a madman. What the hell is wrong with you?
No, man. I just need to know this stuff. So I think we should start upping the ante now because, like, these are songs, like, if any DJ really should know these. So I think what we should do the next time we do this is, this was good, I think, for the purposes of this show. It's like, it's all focused on 2020. 507,
and the ones that you missed, you barely missed on.
So we should go back the next time we do this is do it with, like, we did, like, the songs you would hear at a wedding.
The YMCA.
I think we did that one already. You said it was
the
like
electric slide.
I don't even know the electric slide. So you see, like, that's more challenging.
All right, that's what we can do next time.
This was good though for 2020 and kind of putting a bow on the music for it, if you will. What was the number 1 on the charts? Was it The Box by Roddy Ricch?
No, the number 1. I told you it was Blinding Lights.
Oh, it was Blinding Lights.
It was Blinding Lights. Yeah.
What's number 2 then?
Number 1 was Blinding Lights. Number 2, I believe, was Circles by Post Malone. And number 3, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
well, there you go. I mean, it was a weird year for music because, you know, ideally, what?
I kind of want to see this list real quick.
Okay.
Let me look this up. I'll give you a top 5. All right.
It'll be nice to start playing these songs live again, because what you missed was, like, you're getting all these, like, these songs are blowing up on social media,
right?
But there's limited opportunities to get people's live reactions to them, so you want to see how much they're actually working.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm excited for.
Number 1, as I mentioned, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. Number 2, Circles with Post Malone's Circles. Number 3 was Roddy Ricch with The Box. Number 4, Don't Start Now. Don't Start Now with Dua Lipa. She has some bangers for some reason. I don't know why I like her so much.
She's so good.
Rockstar, number 5 by DaBaby. On the Outside Looking In, Adore You by Harry Styles. That song blew up. That whole album, man. I mean, both of his albums that he's put out since his One Direction days, I mean, he is just killing it right now.
He's super talented. I'll give him that. Like, I was never a huge 1D fan, but, like,
no, me either.
Yeah, I mean, we know that you're the old school boy bands.
Old school boy bands, where it's at. We're talking about some BSB. We're talking about NSYNC. We're talking about O-Town. Maybe throw some 98 Degrees in there, even though sometimes I don't consider them to be a real boy band, even though people would probably say O-Town is probably the one that I should consider to be a non-real boy band. I don't know. 98 Degrees during that time just didn't have any of the big hits or anything.
What about New Kids?
Oh, New Kids on the Block. But yeah, that was just a little bit before that whole surge of boy bands in the late 90s.
Okay, that's fair.
I know it is. I know my boy bands.
That you do.
It's an unfortunately very impressive talent that I may or may not have. As we are waiting for my old producer Cam Denmark to join us, so we can get ready with our 2020 year in review game show between Zensky and yours truly. What was your favorite song from this past year? I mean, was there one of those top 5, or was there something else that you kind of really were into, or what?
Good question. We were just talking about Dua Lipa, and it's so I would say it's her song, a newer one called "Levitating."
That's good.
With DaBaby on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that whole album, like between "Don't Start Now" and "Levitating," has that funky bass line kind of vibe. It's like pulling from Bruno Mars a little bit, like from that whole 24 Karat Magic.
That was so good.
But it's less horns, but it still has that good vibe to it. So that would be my top one. It came out a little later in the year, but still up there for me. What about you?
Don't have a favorite song because I wasn't a big fan of the music in 2020. I thought that anything that was put out there wasn't. I mean, I kind of like the stuff Dua Lipa put out there. I kind of like the Harry Styles album just because for some reason I don't know. I think he's got some good stuff. And
he does.
I think he's pretty talented when it comes to a lot of his music. He's kind of like the modern day rock star. So, it's very, very interesting how he is, like I said, progressed from being a boy band person to kind of a rock star that's actually doing really, really well for himself.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, he has the talent, so hey, keep putting out good music. I think we are now just about ready to be joined by Cam to get this whole shenanigans started. So let's bring him into the chat here.
Bring him into the podcast. Remember that one time you said, let's bring him into the meeting?
I know.
Made you look like a fool. There he is,
Cam.
all decked out. What do you got, some holiday garland or something in the background?
Listen, I decided to go nice and festive. You know, we got the wreath right here in the
tree.
I can move my thumb. Hold on. We'll use this. I got the tree with the angel.
Yeah.
I got the wreath, which is, I don't believe it's plugged in right now.
And do you have uplighting in there too? Or is that just a regular lamp?
No, this is a chandelier. All right. We're fancy here in the Denmark household. We got a full-fledged chandelier, which I'm not really sure where we got it, probably like a department store, but No, we go baller over here, man. This is some high class stuff right here.
I mean, with a last name like Denmark, I mean, it just sounds like you should be fancy AF, as the kids say.
Like nice gilded European stuff, right?
Exactly.
Real quick, before we actually get going with the fun and the chaos of having a 2020 year in review game with Cam Denmark, a producer of mine at EPSN Ithaca. You mentioned that you had some dental work done and that your jaw was hurting, and you said you looked ridiculous. You look fine. Looks like nothing ever actually happened to you, because I know like part of your face was drooping at one point.
So listen, this is the way that it went.
Oh God, it's a Cam story. This is gonna go on for an hour now. Look what I've done.
Get comfortable, boys. Get comfortable.
Oh,
no,
we're gonna run out of time.
So this is what happened, right? I've had 2 straight days of dental work done. Not like I'm not, in the chair for 2 full days, but like it was an hour each. It was
Thank you for the
extensive.
clarification. I had no idea if it was 2 full days.
Well,
or
you never know.
A few hours apart of 2 days.
Listen, Nick, I'm a journalist, all right? I'm a journalism student, okay? I like to be as precise as possible.
Did you finish your story already?
So I have had to get a lot of fillings done. There was some good news and some bad news that I had received. The good news was that I don't have to get a root canal, but the bad news was that I still had to get lots of fillings done. So long story short, because of the Novocaine that they put in my mouth and because of all the work that they were doing with this side of my mouth, the nerves, for whatever reason, I'm not sure what the technical term is for this, but they became inflamed, and I couldn't use this side of my mouth for like an entire day. And then when I went back in today to get the right side done on my mouth, I couldn't really talk for a while, and my jaw is still killing me, but we're all good. I'm here. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to recap some of 2020 in all of its, I don't want to say glory, and all of its,
there's no glory in 2020.
No.
I think regardless of what the label in 2020 is, we appreciate you powering through and being on the show and feel better, obviously.
And I regret asking anything that had to do with your dental work, because I should have known it would turn into a story like it did.
I left out some parts. I can kind of throw them back in there.
That's quite all right.
No. Should we get to the year in review game?
Yeah.
Yes, we shall. I've got 10 questions here.
Go ahead, Cam.
I was not expecting the music. I'm sorry.
We've got a theme song and everything.
Hey, we don't half-ass things here on To the Weekend, man. This is a big production.
Man, wow.
We don't mess around.
I know.
Bring us in, game show host.
Anyways, I got 10 questions for us, all right? 10 questions. We're going to look back at 2020, the year that was, in fact, 2020. And let's just have some fun with this. It's a little bit of a mix of sports and some music and some real-world events that took place. So, are you guys ready?
Ready.
This is the way it's going to work.
Never been more ready.
I'm going to read the question. Whoever has their guess first is going to say their name.
Okay.
And whoever I pick up first, you're going to be able to answer. But I have to complete the question. All right?
Okay.
Little stipulation. I like that.
All right. Let's go on to question 1. Let's go easy. All right? Let's throw a softball, a little slow-pitch softball for us. On March 17th, quarterback Tom Brady took to social media. I don't know if you guys have heard of him or not. Took to social media to announce his departure from the New England Patriots. What day of the week did this fall on?
Nick.
All right, Nick, what do we got?
It was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday. Wow.
So what happened that made you remember that it was on a Tuesday?
Just a lucky guess, I guess.
Yeah, okay. I don't believe that for a second.
I swear to God.
Okay.
I swear
All
to God.
right, question 2.
These are the kind of questions you have to expect from Cam Denmark. Okay?
And you have the upper hand here because you've done this before. But okay, listen, I'm up for this. Let's go. Question 2.
Zensky, listen, you got to be on your toes when you're dealing with
Always
Camster.
On my toes, man. Don't underestimate me. Let's go.
When you're
Question
dealing
2.
with the Danish.
Question 2. Let's go.
Question number 2. Who finished number 1 on the Billboard Top 200 overall? Not in just rap or hip hop or
Zensky.
R&B.
He didn't finish the question first.
Well,
I did. I definitely
thank you.
did. The question mark was there, and then I included the parentheses. All right. Zensky, what do we got?
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd. Bonus point. What was the song?
Blinding Lights.
Man. How about that? Zensky taking the 2-1 lead.
If you were only on the show 10 minutes earlier, you'll understand why that was such an easy question. But when you listen back to this, you'll get it.
Perfect. Now, this is where an extra rule needs to be applied.
Jesus Christ.
This answer is going to be a number. Now, you have to guess closest to the number without going over. So,
Okay. So Price is Right style.
Yeah.
news came out yesterday saying that Carolina Panthers offensive tackle Russell Okung would convert half of his 2020 salary into Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
How much will be converted?
I'll go first.
That's not your name.
Oh, Nick. I thought we were
Nick, what do we got?
based on, oh God almighty, 6 million.
Zensky, what do we got? That's not the answer, but
I'm gonna say 8 million.
Nick, you were closest. It was 6.5 million.
Wow.
job.
See, I remember
I've
seeing
never even
that.
heard of this guy.
I mean, neither have I, but he's getting paid $13 million a year, so I mean, I guess he's pretty good.
Great.
Now, same rule applies.
Another
the
one?
answer is going to be a number.
God.
Okay.
Score is 2-2. Closest to the number without going over. The Los Angeles Dodgers finally won the World Series. In fact, they won the 2020 Pandemic Series. How many wins did they finish with?
Andy.
What you got, Zensky?
Yeah, or Zensky, yes. I'm gonna say 39.
That's not the answer, so Nick, you can go ahead.
42.
Nick is closest, 43.
Oh, damn.
Nick taking the 3-1 lead.
3-2, because he got that
3-2
two-parter,
lead,
remember?
I'm sorry. 3-2, yep. I'm a good host. Question 5. I don't think either of you are going to get this.
Oh, good.
Who won the 2020 NASCAR Championship?
That happened this year?
Nick.
Nick, what do we got?
Was it Chase? Chase Elliott?
It was Chase Elliott.
Wow. I was gonna say you should know that just from like the Watkins Glen and everything that you cover.
Why the hell would I know any NASCAR news?
I don't know, but you've been to more NASCAR races than I have.
Yeah, I kind of have to. I'm paid to do
Yeah.
that.
All right.
Question 6. Who was my top Spotify artist for the year?
Oh, good lord. Zensky.
Zensky, what is it?
And listen, I could really be insulting you because I don't know anything about you musically. I'm gonna say Taylor Swift.
No. God,
It was a guess. It was a
God,
guess.
no. You should be deducted a point for that.
Right. Well, okay. Let's see the guy who actually works with you. Let's see how easily he gets the answer.
Nick. I
You
kind
don't
of
have to say your name. You were up.
I know. I kind of think I have an idea who it was.
Okay, then who was it?
I don't know for sure how you say it, but is it Jeezy or G-Eazy?
G-Eazy?
It's pronounced G-Eazy, and it was not.
Son of...
Okay, can I get a point for at least knowing how you pronounce it? You never
How
heard
you
of
pronounce-
G-Eazy before?
No,
And then he
no.
dated Halsey?
No. It was Drake, by the way.
Oh my God, you would.
Okay,
Now.
what if... Okay. Why?
My top
Okay.
my top Spotify artist of all time is in fact G-Eazy.
Oh, see, I remember you telling me this, I think, at one point.
Yep.
What's your favorite G-Eazy song?
That's a good question.
Cam doesn't know the names of songs.
I will. Shut up, Nick. I like all of his older work. I would say that a song that I love that's very, very much near and dear to my heart.
He doesn't know. He's stalling.
It's a very emotional song. It's called "Everything Will Be Okay," and not a lot of people know it.
Never heard of that.
But
He made it up. That's why.
I did not make it up. No. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's go back to NASCAR. All right.
Why
Let's go back to the good
NASCAR
stuff.
questions. The hell is wrong
Let's go
with
back
you?
to the good stuff.
I'm at an unfair advantage here. I'm just going to put that on the record.
The season resumed after a lengthy delay due to the pandemic with the Real Heroes 400 in Darlington. Who won that race?
Nick. Joey Logano.
No. Zensky, you get a free guess.
Chase Elliott.
No.
Because that's the only other NASCAR driver I can name right now.
Nick, I'm kind of shocked that you don't know this because it was the guy who I went on a roll with guessing who was going to win each NASCAR race. It was Kevin Harvick.
Is he still racing?
He is still racing. Old man
Has he been
Harvick
doing
is
this for
still
like 20
racing.
years?
Listen,
See,
My
Zensky
God.
knows a little bit about NASCAR, so don't
I
give me
do.
this
I used to
BS
watch it, like,
about.
when-
Don't give me this. Oh, woe is me. You're catering these questions to Nick. You're throwing out there. Wait, Kevin Harvick's still doing this stuff? Get out of here.
Because like I know that name, but I can't tell you like who five current drivers are. I know two of them now, or three of them. Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, and Joey Logano.
I bet you Zensky is fluent in 90s NASCAR driver trivia knowledge. He knows all about Jeff Gordon and his
Darrell
feud with
Waltrip
Dale
and-
Earnhardt. You got Michael Waltrip. Man, I can see it right now.
I know enough about NASCAR to say boogity, 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 let's go racing. boys.
That's good enough. That is good enough. All right. Nick with the 4-2 lead as we head in to the 8th question. How many fans, this is also a number answer, closest without going over.
Okay.
How many fans will be allowed to attend the upcoming Bills playoff game?
Andy,
All right, what do we got?
7,000.
Nick?
6,700.
On the nose. Nick Karski.
I thought I was going to get you there.
That's the walk-off, but we'll do the remaining 2 questions. Why not?
Let's do
Why
it.
not?
Let's do it.
This year's Grammy Awards ceremony took place in Los Angeles at what venue?
Nick. Staples Center.
Yes. Just rubbing salt in the wound right now.
God, Zensky looks so
I wasn't sure if
disappointed.
it wasn't sure if it was at the Staples Center.
What?
And
Where
hey,
else
for
would
what
it
it's
be?
I don't know. But where have things taken place in their normal venues this year?
This was probably like one of the last normal events that happened.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was.
Whatever.
Yeah, because they had the whole Kobe tribute and everything like that. Remember?
Yep.
Oh, right.
Boys to Men sang with.
I think
Alicia
I've
Keys.
just blocked. See, I'm already starting to block 2020 out. So let's see if I get the last one.
Nick only knows the answer to that question because Boys to Men was there. Anyways,
It's not wrong.
closest to the number without going over. How many wins did Yankees ace Garrett Cole finish with?
Zensky, you can go. I'm gonna let you go first. It's closest without going over.
I'm gonna say 9.
It's not it. Nick, go ahead.
I'm gonna say 12.
Wow. On the nose. Again.
Wow.
12. That is crazy. How about that? You finished with, it was 7-2. That's got to feel bad.
See you, Zensky.
Yeah.
Feels bad,
Feels
bro.
bad. Feels bad. I think the correct answer for Yankees fans, though, was not enough because they want Garrett Cole
Yeah.
to finish with about 50 wins every
In
year.
a 60-game season.
In a 60-game season, they want him to be Cy Young Award winner twice in 1 year.
See,
or else
here's
it's not worth the $324 million.
I can tell Zensky's ticked off right now because I feel he can sense the domination that I had. But hold on a second, Cam, because here's what I'm saying. You can sense the domination that I had during this, and rightfully so. That's what happened. I mean, I dominated. There's no other way of putting it. But you have this uncanny skill of guessing beats per minute for songs, and this is a skill that nobody else in the history of ever can really do besides yourself. So you would win in a battle of that. I win in a battle of trivia, which happened to be more sports questions rather than anything else questions.
Oh, I'm not denying that. I'm just very competitive, so I'm going to get ticked off regardless.
Cam, did you know that he knows how to do this? That Zensky knows how many beats per minute are in like most songs? This is going to prove
whether or not you've listened to the show in the past.
You know, I didn't know that. I'm embarrassed to
appreciate
admit. But let me just say, there have been commercials going around for some program on some network television channel, and the commercial just has like an individual playing the piano, and they play one note, and then the woman guesses what song it is based on that one note. And I don't believe that. I just don't believe it for a second. It isn't a thing. They gave her the title to the song. I mean, how can you guess a song based on one note? It just doesn't happen.
No, you could totally do that. And I would say like they could even, like if they're really musically knowledge, they could say what key it's in too. But like, so think about it. You're going back to bars in 2021, right? You're out. The DJ starts playing "Don't Stop Believing." Don't stop believing.
Don't start believing. That's very much fitting. Right there.
Yeah, right. Don't stop believing. Like as soon as that first chord hits, you would know that.
That's fair,
right? So I think it can't just be like an arbitrary song. It has to have some sort of like notoriety.
Cam, I want you to give me a popular song, and I'm going to see if Zensky can guess the beats per minute of it. Give me a popular song of your choice. We're going to see if he can correctly guess the beats per minute.
Well, let's go as popular as we can. Blinding Lights.
No, we already did that one.
We already did that. It's 86.
Come up with a different one.
All right. Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne.
Ooh.
Gotta look this up.
I gotta think about this.
Danny.
It doesn't go like that. What are you talking about?
I know. I don't. Hey, look, copyright, okay?
Hold on. I need to think.
It's uncanny how close he can get, though. Should we just whisper until he gets
so. Welcome to our ASMR to the Weekend podcast.
I feel like the master is doing a lot of thinking here, and he's still going. He's still thinking.
He's probably trying to think of what the song actually was.
No, I know what the song is, obviously. I'm just trying to... Rock songs are tough.
For those that don't know, Cam has an uncanny obsession with Avril Lavigne for some reason that when he first told me about it, I thought it was just a radio bit. Turns out he actually does enjoy Avril Lavigne.
Okay, I could be way off. I'm going to say 85.
85. That's what you're going to go with?
Yeah. I honestly have no clue.
Yeah, you're off. Because that 85 times 2 would be 170. It's actually 150 beats per minute.
Okay.
So, okay, Cam, think of a more realistic song, like a with the time sort of song, okay? Something that youths
not rock.
Listen to. Something that you youths listen to.
Right. The Hills by The Weeknd.
72?
Oh, that's a very specific number.
72 times 2 is what?
144.
144? No, it says it's 113. Wow, damn. We really hyped you up for nothing now.
Now what?
Zensky.
I gotta broaden my knowledge because like we've been doing a lot of like these popular songs, but like I should be able to like hear Skater Boy in my head and know what that is because I can compare it to something.
Zensky got 5 out of 7 correct. And the ones that he was off by, which was Rockstar by DaBaby, or no, check that. It was Intentions with Justin Bieber and All I Want for Christmas Is You. He was off by like 4 beats per minute.
Wow.
All the other ones, he was within 3, if not dead on.
Let's do one more where the beat it's a very famous beat. Everybody knows it. Everybody sings it in their, or hums it in their head, or not hums in their head. Nobody hums in their head.
People do hum because Billboard has a list of Google's most hummed songs in 2020, by the way.
Yeah, but you don't hum in your head. You don't think of a song by humming it in your head. Mm-hmm. Lose Yourself by Eminem.
87.
That was quick. That was really quick.
Okay, what'd you say, 87?
87.
87 times 2 is 174. This says it's 171.
Wow.
Isn't that absurd?
That's absurd.
It's ridiculous how he does that.
That's good.
It's a little memory trick, I guess.
I don't know how you do it. How is it actually memory though?
Yeah, because like I could visualize it like bringing it up on like Serato, the program that most DJs use, and like you just kind of see it there. I don't know. It's a weird. I can't explain it.
What's the one song that when you're DJing, the basic girls just love? They're wasted out of their mind. They're just like, oh my God, I love this song.
Do you want me to open my white girls crate?
Yes, please.
I have a white. So this is something that it's like a little bit of an unwritten rule for DJs that you need to have like because in the program that we use, they're called crates because back in the day, DJs would carry around record crates, but now in the program, they're called crates. So I made one. It's just called White Girl. So when they're drunk and they come up asking for a song, it's like you just pull from this. So I'll go down the list. So there's a lot of Beyonce.
Of course.
There's like 7-Eleven. There's Baby Boy. Then it goes into Britney Spears. Then I have Bye Bye Bye. I have Every Time We Touch by Cascada. I have Everybody by the Backstreet Boys. More Beyonce with Formation. J-Lo, Get Right. Girlfriend, NSYNC and Nelly. Good as Hell by Lizzo. Hips Don't Lie by Shakira. More Britney. I Love It by Icona Pop. I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys. More J-Lo. Lady Marmalade. That's in there. Lip Gloss by Little Mama. Let's Get Loud by J-Lo. Miss New Booty by Bubba Sparks. My Humps by the Black Eyed Peas. Like all this kind of stuff.
Basic bleeps beats. That's exactly what it is.
I feel like a lot of the bands or artists that Nick talks about all the time were on that list.
In there. They're totally in here. 90s boy bands.
Does that make me like, basic?
In a way, yes.
The correct answer is yes.
Good.
And like, if you want to know what the list ends on, it's Wannabe. Like that's the last song on the crate.
Oh, that's got to be one of the most played, I'm sure.
Oh, all the time. All the time. Like that is probably what I will turn to. Is like when they say, "Can you play something that my friends and I like? We're here at a bachelorette party." It's like that'll be one of the first ones that I
party, I'm not even surprised.
Remember when those were a thing?
Yeah, when those were a thing. Cam, thank you so much.
Yes.
For joining and indulging us in a little 2020 year in review, which turned out to be mostly sports questions that I ended up getting right.
Hey, no problem. I was honored to be on. Zensky, that is an amazing talent, the beats per minute. I'm going to come up with a couple more songs, and I want you to get them. I want you to get them right next time.
Sounds good. I'm always up for the challenge, and I want to echo what Nick says. Thanks for being on, and hey, if you guys are listening, have a great year. 2021 is going to be a good year, so thank you guys for all your support in 2020. If you haven't already, be sure to rate the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, follow us on social media. Cam, thanks again for being on, and we'll be a good year.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. And hey, Nick, you stay classy, my friend.
Hey, you stay classy, my friend, as well. See ya.
Peace.